Hey there, it is Rachel, and when we are raising kids who worry and we hear that they're afraid of something, we naturally ask them what is bothering them, what they're afraid of. So let's say you are going on a family trip with one of your kids and you notice that they're worrying, you're likely to say, well, what are you afraid of? What do you think is going to happen? And if they answer you, they may say something like, well, what if I don't know how to talk to my cousins? Or what if the beds where we're going are really uncomfortable? And when we hear what they're actually worried about, we tend to solve and fix that for them. We may say something like, well, if you don't know what to say to your cousins, come to me and I'll help you. Or, no, you'll be fine. You always figure out what to say to your cousins. Or we may say something like, well, if the bed isn't comfortable, then maybe we can switch beds or get you something to put under your bed. Or we may say something like, you've been there before, you know that the beds are fine. We try to solve the problem. We try to reassure them. But this doesn't tend to help them worry less. There are actually a lot of reasons it doesn't help, but one of the reasons is because when kids are worried, they're often not just worried about the thing. They're not worried that they won't know what to say to their cousins or that the bed will be uncomfortable. They're worried that they're not going to know how to handle something. In fact, anxiety is the fear that something bad will happen and we don't know how to handle it. So if we want to help them and support them in those moments, we don't want to solve or reassure, because what that does is then we are addressing their anxiety and they still believe they can't handle something because we have given them the solution. So what we want to do instead is help them find solutions. Teach them that they can handle things. So if they say, well, what if I don't know what to say to my cousin? You actually want to say to them, well, what if you don't know what to say to your cousin? What do you think you can do about that? Or if they say, what if the bed is uncomfortable? You can say, well, what if the bed is uncomfortable? What can you do about that? Now, often when you ask your kids this question, they may say, I don't know. They didn't know. That's what made them worried to begin with. So what you might want to say is, okay, well, I will come up with some solutions, but how can you change my solution to make it work for you? So you're giving your kids some ideas, but ultimately you are empowering them to find the solutions. Because when they are worried, one of the worst things you can do is fix it for them. Then they think they need you to be okay. The other thing you don't want to do is tell them not to worry because their brains will naturally worry. Instead, you want to teach them what to do when the fear comes up, and that is teaching them how to solve the problems that their brain naturally comes up with. If you want to hear a little bit more about supporting a child with anxiety, including the 4 P's that I teach when you are raising an anxious child, I encourage you to check out my latest podcast episode. You can find that at rachel-bailey.com/252. Thanks. Take care. I'll see you again soon.